How's everybody doing? Ready to roll into Monday morning. This is a magnification of the area where we had the earthquake swarm. This is all the quake action from Saturday until now. And we can just take a look at it again and get a good picture of what happened to us over the weekend. This is Prague right here. Sparks right here. And it's almost the same distance to the middle of them, but I believe it's a little bit closer to Prague. There has been reports of buildings damaged and whatnot, and I spoke with my sister, and I forgot which one it is, but there is a roadway over there that it buckled it. And of course we've got the newscasts and everything here showing the building damage and property damage and whatnot. But we've had aftershocks too, some newer ones. And we can see we've had a 2.9, 3.3, a 3.4. Other activities we've had a 5.2 in the Bismarck Sea, a 4.5 in southern Peru. Bismarck Sea looks busy. 5.1 in the Bismarck Sea, 4.7 in the Bismarck Sea, 3.6 in the Virgin Islands region, 5.1 in the Kurile Islands, 5.1 in the Bismarck Sea, 2.7 in the Kodiak Island region in Alaska, and 4.7 in the Bismarck Sea. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the Bismarck Sea. And we've got stuff going on elsewhere also, and that's never going to quit. It's just going to intensify. And finally it hit here more than 2s and 3 or so. We now hold the claim as the top earthquake magnitude, I believe, for the year 2011. And we're not that far away from the New Madrid fault line. And we know that that's going to give way at some point. Now this is a nice little site you can come to. It's free. I'll put up a link for you, and it's a little different look, and you can give yourself some different kind of, perspective of the objects that you see. You can see I've got it set for 1800 hours on November the 9th for the YU-55 flyby. And this is what it should be situated like planet-wise in their location findings. And this is the Earth and the Moon right in here. And you've got Venus and Mercury here, and of course Jupiter over here, Mars, Saturn, and I've blown this up enough to where you can't see the others. But you can acquaint yourself with these objects and where they lie, and what does it look like in the whole big picture as you're trying to understand how these things fly around and how everything works. You can also highlight the other objects out there, the different stars. You can measure the distances between objects. There's a lot of things you can do to help yourself become more knowledgeable about everything out here and how the situation is. So, sometime that night, that day, 8th into the 9th, you're going to see YU-55 fly by the Earth and supposedly fly by the Moon here. And according to Hoagland, you know, there's always the intangible chance that supposedly he's got some mathematics to stand behind, that it could clip the moon. But I don't think it will. Anyhow, this is a nice little tool. I wanted to show it to you. Maybe you can come use it sometime. See if you like it. You might want to come back and study, research. So you can see what you think. Now I went to both different cameras for the Neumayer Station, other than the one that I showed before last night, where we saw the weird looking object again. And there wasn't really anything going on. All I saw was some weird looking cloud formations. And I don't know if you can really see it like I did or can, but I've got this blown up as much as it can, and it just had some strange looking clouds, and this looks like it's twisted like a rope. And that's all I can describe it as. It's twisted looking like a rope. And clouds, of course, can be manipulated, and you can see a lot of things in them, shapes, whatnot. And I thought it looked odd, so I just looked at it real good, and that's what I saw. Now you can do the same thing if you want. I had it at 1,000%, but I just stepped it all the way through, and didn't really see too much going on here. Now that was another oddity right here, and I'll show you what I meant by that. Is the way that cloud formed. It's 130 UTC, 140 UTC, and then you see this cloud form right here, and then it grows. And that looks really, really strange. And that was 230 UTC. It grew to that size. We'll go back some. That's 10 minutes. That's 150. And I'll go ahead and enlarge this to 400. Give you an idea of what clouds can look like. How they look really strange, especially up there at Neumayer with all the other things that we look at. And you can look, that's what I was talking about, the other cloud too. It looks like it's swirled there on the end, sort of like the frayed end of a rope. It's twisted. And then it almost looks like it's got actual like shape, like it's a cloud covering a shape of something in there. And then there's some little weird looking bubble cloud right there that's popped up underneath of it also. Well, that's all I could see was some of these strange cloud formations up there on these particular cameras. And then that's just pretty much what it did. It just broke apart and moved with the rest of the system. Okay. Now, I told this one here, I made this video, and this guy here I'm talking about, who I told him I was going to show him, because I think he's probably a shill. If he's not, write me and tell me he's not. If you know him and he's a regular person, let me know. But anyhow, this is the one that got it started. I started getting some stuff from him, and it started getting pretty edgy. And then you can see, let's see, 18 hours ago, you must see a specialist. You have one serious anti-human anger problem there. How's the missus? A bit black and blue? Kids? You can see I went looking for him, and I didn't see nothing, so I said, "You're a shill. You can't even get to your channel. It's conveniently unavailable." And let's see what happened after that. I could have sworn he replied. Well, either I removed his comment or he did, because he had replied once again. But anyway, this is who he is. SRKH28. Whoever that is. This is what you get when you click on his channel. So he must have friend lock on, so that only people that he knows and messes around with could possibly see anything going on with him, because it's obvious the channel is not available, so he does not have any help to offer anyone. Apparently he just hops around, makes rude comments, starts trouble. Typical shill. If he's not, correct me, and I'll correct myself, and just consider him very, very rude and confused. But that's him, or whoever you are. And I told you I'd tell people who you were and show you, and I'd show that your channel was whatever it was. And that's really what I wanted to come on for, mainly, was just to show the swarm of the earthquakes and how many there actually had been, and tell you what I had heard as far as anything new. So when we go into next week, which we're coming into now, we're going to have to ride this out and see where it ends up. Now hopefully everyone will be safe. We're already prepared, because you know we prepared for New Madrid and Elenin, and the timelines were too early. And this is probably going to be a non-event as far as anything happening on the ground here. But it is going to be an event in the sense that it's something that is being done. It hasn't been done like this in quite some time, for something like this to happen like this. So it has meaning, and it has its place in the timeline, and it is something that we want to watch, definitely. So I hope we capture images of it. And I hope everyone has a fine beginning to the work week. I pray that we're all going to be fine and safe, and I believe we will. So watch the sky, see if you can catch it, and let's all see what it looked like. I'll talk to y'all soon. God bless.